Hi there, welcome to BoxPred. These are my brief post-fight thoughts on the fights from the weekend. So let's begin with the first one. I'm going to be looking at Ricky Burns' unanimous decision victory over Michael Katsidis. Like most people, I think Burns really surprised me in this fight. I did predict Katsidis by stoppage around round 9, and I was wrong. Ricky Burns pulled it out the bag. A very good boxing performance all round from him. He showed basically his ability, his speed. He was beating Katsidis to the punch. His boxing range of different punches, going to the body, going up top, just good movement. He varied it up. I did say in my prediction there was pretty much three options for him. One, to absorb the pressure, fight on the back foot, to put pressure on, try and go on the front foot and trade with Katsidis and hope to come out on top, or to do what Kevin Mitchell did against John Murray, and that was to switch it up between the two. He did that, but he did it in even more spectacular fashion, because he was able to come forward, and rather than just be in deadly trade-offs with Katsidis, he was able to do what Robert Guerrero was able to do, and that was to be a level higher in the boxing ability department, in the speed department, to be able to actually, counterpunch Katsidis and actually hold the centre of the ring. He was able to hold the centre of the ring at times when he decided to fight like that, Ricky Burns, which was really impressive for me, because I think Ricky Burns showed, a step up in his boxing ability there. And then he would switch it up and take pressure on. And then Katsidis had his best moments when Burns was against the ropes. It happened quite a few times in the fight, and Katsidis was trying to get through Burns' guard, which was high. He was trying to go low with body punches. He was trying to sort of put more accurate punches between the gloves, but you could tell that Katsidis was wearing down because he was spending a lot of energy on those punches, and Ricky Burns was able to cover up both up top and below very effectively. Some very good defense, and then he was able to try and counterpunch Katsidis. He controlled the fight in that way. He was able to switch it up and keep Katsidis guessing. Katsidis did have, like I say, his moments when he had Ricky Burns on the ropes, and I don't think having Burns up on the ropes was completely Burns' choice. Katsidis was putting a lot of pressure on, but Burns was, dealing with it very well. And I thought Ricky Burns looked very big in there. He looks very good at this weight. He looks very strong at lightweight against another, real lightweight in Katsidis. He looked big in that ring, and he looks like he's holding the weight very, very well. So very good performance from Ricky Burns. I'm really looking forward to where he goes from here, and looking for big things from him now as we look towards the future for his career in the lightweight division. Then George Groves went up against Paul Smith and stopped him in the second round. I predicted a later stoppage for Groves, but I do think not a lot to be said about this one really. I think we did see, it was one of those things. Groves got the quick punch off, showed his power, and I think he really did want to make that statement in this fight against Smith, that he can deal with domestic level opposition and he's ready to move forward and on and up from here. And I think it was a good performance from Groves. He did get hurt at the end of the first round by Smith, but I think he was always in control, and I think the boxing quality showed from George Groves. Now Alfredo Angulo against James Kirkland. A very exciting fight, a great first round. I called this one wrong. I predicted a 4th round stoppage for Angulo. It was actually, I believe, a 6th round stoppage for Kirkland. I did say it was pretty much a guess, because when you get these two kinds of fighters in the ring, a lot of people were saying, quite rightfully, it was whoever landed first and who would basically prevail with the knockout by stopping the other guy. I think it started off, as you know, Kirkland after about 30 seconds was knocked down himself, and at that point you're thinking, yeah, it's clear that Angulo has a bit better defence. Kirkland has still next to no defence, and he gets caught way too much. But then he came back with his fighting spirit, grit and determination. Very good from Kirkland, a very good showing. Came back. I think that Angulo really showed stamina problems, stamina issues. I really don't think I factored in the importance of Angulo's time he's had out of the ring, and I think that he really, stamina issue was blatantly there to see, and I think did a very good job. A very exciting fighter, Kirkland. I do think he'll struggle against pure boxers in the same way that Angulo would struggle against pure boxers, like he did against Kermit Sintron. Somebody who's able to move, who's able to defend very well, stay out of range, who's able to counter punch, who's able to, has a bit of power themselves, respectable power. I think he will struggle. And I'm still, not convinced by Kirkland, because a boxer, to be successful, I do feel does need to have a higher level of defence than James Kirkland has. But he's a very exciting fighter, and you can never write him off because he always has a finishing punch, and he always has the power to hurt his opponents. So that's what's exciting about James Kirkland. Angulo from here, I don't know where he goes. If he wants to. He's going to be demoted again, probably, to fight in B-level opposition. If he wants to come back, he's going to have to fight his way back up. But again, he is still going to be an exciting fighter, so we'll see where that takes him. And finally, Lucien Bute defeated Glenn Johnson by unanimous decision, which I predicted. And I want to express here that I was very impressed with Bute. I don't want to get overly overpraise Bute here, because there is the fact that he has sparred around 90 rounds with Johnson over the years, and therefore he did know what was coming that night, and he knew what Johnson was capable of. I thought it was a masterful display from Bute. If you want a lesson in distancing, a lesson in timing, a lesson in footwork, a lesson in head movement and reflex defence, then watch Lucien Bute's victory over Glenn Johnson. Extremely impressive, regardless of how much he knew Johnson. Johnson's still a dangerous opponent, and I do think Johnson didn't box his usual self though. I don't know why this was. I can only put it down to the fact that he obviously was maybe cautious because he knew what Bute was capable of, and he was a bit cautious to come forward. He wasn't coming forward with his normal, relentlessness. He was a bit cautious in this fight, and he did look like he was surviving from like the early rounds onwards. Really, Bute was able to control this fight completely. If he could. I would like to see him fight somebody like Kessler now, and if he could control the fight the same way he's controlled this one, and he could have as convincing a victory over someone like Kessler, I really do think Bute is really amazing. He is a real shout to be the top guy in the division. If he can fight like that against other opposition that he doesn't know so well. So yeah, Johnson will continue on probably his usual self. He's still, it's very difficult to stop the guy. A lot of people expressed that they thought they wanted Bute to stop Johnson, but although I feel he could have turned it up a bit and he could have given a bit more, I think maybe he was a bit cautious. He knew what Johnson, he didn't want to get caught and it all come tumbling down. All in all, a very good performance against Johnson. But like I said, a lot of that can probably be taken from the fact he knew the opponent very well. So yeah, looking forward to the next year to see what happens with the super middleweight division. And yeah, they're my post-fight thoughts. So please let me know what you guys think. It was a good weekend of boxing, and this is BoxPred. Thanks for watching. I'm out.